Welcome to Workout Wednesday. It's Wednesday and we are about to start in a couple of minutes. Good to have so many of you here today. It's 74 already, which is pretty cool. We've got quite an interesting workout for you today. Definitely a challenging one. I'll go through the ins and outs of the detail and the detail of the session once we start, but it's 1 hour, so you've got 60 minutes, and in that time we're going to get some serious work done. Again, the focus of today's session, for those of you joined already, is on developing aerobic base, and it's trying to simulate or kind of give you the physiological benefits similar to that of a long endurance road ride. So, one option is 3 hours on the road after work in the dark or whatever. The other option is this session today, and by training smartly we can really get a lot out of 1 hour on the turbo. So I'll go through the details in a minute or so, but for the moment just enjoy your time warming up. Any questions? Fire away. So I think we're live on Zwift Community Live right now. Just checking my feed, see what we got going on. Yep, we should have the live stream going. So I've moved my microphone around a little bit because I think a few people were commenting saying the audio wasn't fantastic last time. So, right guys, we're off. We are off. So, first off guys, welcome. My name is Matt Rowe from Rowe & King Cycle Coaching. Bringing you a session today. It's 2 times 20, so 2 20-minute blocks of what we call 20-40s. So that is 20 seconds on, so 20 seconds at 150% of our FTP, so you're well up over threshold, putting some serious watts out, and then 40 seconds rest. So the rest period is literally knock it back. Again, chosen cadence for the whole session. Done. Chosen cadence for the whole session. And it's going to be 40 seconds off, followed by 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off, 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off. Repeat for 20 minutes. So we're going to do 20 minutes, 20-minute block. Then we're going to rest for a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, and repeat again for another 20 minutes. And again, this constant working above threshold and under threshold. So what we call is a version of over and unders. It's really going to help develop your aerobic base and your threshold. So we're in the warm-up phase at the moment. And we just got another 6 minutes warming up, nice and steady. It is a progressive warm-up. This shouldn't feel too taxing at the minute. Again, nice and steady, slowly warming up, getting a bit of a sweat on. So hopefully you've all got your fans on, and you've got a bit of air flowing in your garage or in your kitchen or wherever you're doing this workout, because it's going to get hot. Evening Phil, hello there sir, good to have you with us. So another 5 minutes warming up guys before we get into session 1. So I've spent the last couple of hours trying to get my my new cycling shoes sorted, my new cleats. So I don't know how you all adapt to new shoes and new kit, but I'm not great for it. I'm always tweaking and fine-tuning and messing around with my new position each time I change it. And new shoes is a classic for me. It's a classic, yeah, it always gives me problems. Little bad knees or a little twinge here, twinge there. And it does take me a while to play around with that position. Yep, getting my excuses in already. Play around with that position and fine tune it. But as long as you're, so a little tip for when you're sorting your new cleats out, as long as you're sensible with it. So if you do feel a little bit of pain, just take a knock back and assess, what feels different. Does your foot feel slightly further forward than normal, further back? Is your heel in or out? You can always flip between old shoes and your new ones, just to help kind of calibrate how that feels and get your new shoes spot on. But I definitely counsel against suffering through the pain and hoping it'll all come good. So any pain that you're feeling when you got new shoes on is should be a red rag or red flag to say back off, do something about it. Just putting pressure through the pedals when your alignment through your hip down to through your knee and down to your foot is different to what you're normally used to. That's going to put pressure on your tendons, ligaments and the like, and it can easily give you long-term problems, so just be sensible with it. So we've got a question from Phil about whether I use electrolyte drink for a 1 hour session. So 1 hour turbo session, so on Zwift, absolutely great idea. And out on the road, I wouldn't. And that decision there is purely reflective of the amount that I sweat. So I lose a lot more fluids on the turbo compared with what I would on the road in an hour. So yes, it's definitely a great idea to use a electric tablet. And I often use half a tablet because I find the flavour is a bit overpowering sometimes with the whole one. So half a tablet in a 500ml bottle, and over an hour session you can easily get through 2 bottles. So 1 tablet, 2 bottles, you won't go too far wrong. So guys, another 2 minutes or so warming up, and then we're going to have an easy minute to prepare for the nuts and bolts of the session. And flashing up on screen now is a brief description of what the session entails. So it's 20 seconds at 150% of your FTP, and then 40 seconds recovery times 20. So that's a 20-minute block. Then we'll have 6 minutes easy just to recover, and we'll do it all over again. And again, the idea here is in that 20 seconds, or the over threshold, we build up quite a lot of lactic acid in our legs. So it's definitely a strong stimulus for our muscles, but for our overall system, so our heart, our lungs, our veins and everything that works together to support our muscles, they don't get worked quite so hard, because you do 20 seconds hard, let's call it, and then you're straight back. You've got 40 seconds recovery back to back with it. So average that out over a minute, your average heart rate won't be that high, because by the time the fatigue starts to kick in, you're easing off. And so over the 20-minute block, you're actually going to average quite a moderate heart rate, similar to what you might call top end of zone 2, bottom end of zone 3, and that's roughly the zone that you would be spending most of a kind of a long endurance road ride in. So club run on the road, you might average somewhere towards the top end of zone 2. So given your all-round system, your lungs and your heart and all that, a workout that's quite similar to what we're going to experience today. So you should be sweating by now, guys. So a question from Tim there, saying he's had a pro bike fit, but he still suffers from numb toes. So, first question I'd have, and it may sound like a silly one, but are your shoes too tight? Because I know, again, my feet, I wouldn't say they quite go numb, but they definitely, you know, my shoes get a bit tight and they do feel a bit, yeah, I guess just tight in the shoes, which can cause numbness when my feet swell up. So if I'm riding in hot weather or on Zwift, obviously you're getting really hot on Zwift, that can cause your feet to swell and go a little bit numb. But I don't think there's, again, a bike fit should give you a good guide of what a good position looks like, but there's no definitive answer, you know. A good bike fit will give you a good idea, but then you need to take that and take what you're given and make it work for you. Okay guys, straight into this, 20 seconds, we'll call it a spike. So 20 seconds guys, get into this now. Okay, good job. Now we recover. So that was the first spike guys of 40 in this session. First spike. So you know, you should feel your body, you know, in that 20 seconds your heart rate will increase, your breathing will increase, you're taking bigger, deeper breaths. You should feel your legs get a little bit tired, especially towards the end of that 20 seconds. Then we've got 40 seconds off, total recovery. So across the minute, that evens out to a similar effort to what you would experience on a long endurance road ride. Okay guys, second one. Stay composed throughout it all guys. Good job. Nice work guys, nice work. So that is 2 out of 20 in this first block. So is that 10%? I think so. And again, this may not feel super taxing at the minute, but again, this isn't supposed to be a real lung buster. It's designed to replicate what the physiological demands of an endurance road ride. So this session, you know, replicates from a training benefit and a training stress point of view a similar effort to a club run or a longer group ride. And that's not a real intense. And that's not a real intense group ride, it's just your kind of general club run, 2.5 to 3 hours. You ride on the front a little bit, you're in the wheels a little bit, just a general all-round conditioning ride. And the effort, you should feel it slowly creeping up on you. So again, at the minute you're probably thinking, this isn't too bad. But again, we've only done a couple of efforts guys. We're only 3 minutes in. We've got 2 20-minute blocks of this. So it's all about the long haul. Someone's asking there, Johnny, what spinner would I recommend? So, if you mean spinner by the finger spinners that are gadgets, any metal one, because then when you drop it, it won't break. That's good guys, good. And you see my heart rate here for those who are following. My heart rate's around 160. So that kind of correlates with you know, where the effort should be. And on a good solid road ride, club run, you can average, you expect your heart rate to average in the region of, well, I would expect my heart rate to average around 160. Again, there's no prescribed cadence for this session, guys. I would just choose your preferred natural cadence. So this session isn't working on developing your strength specifically. It's more of an all-round conditioning aerobic session. So you know, if you're up on 100 revs a minute or lower, you know, 60, 70. It's all good, whatever you feel comfortable with. It's the repetition here, guys, so the volume of efforts that's going to do the work, as opposed to any single minute here or any single 20-second spike. It's just that cumulative effect over the session that we're gonna feel, and it's gonna kick in. So that's 6 efforts done, guys, of the first block, which is fantastic. I think we're all still here together. Nobody's dropped, which again is one of the great things about workout mode in Zwift. You know, helping, there's over 100 of us here, and we're all able to ride together in one group. You know, you do a lot of workouts and rides on Zwift that aren't in workout mode, and I hosted a lot back in the day, kind of last year. It was very hard to keep the pack together, and for me that's one of the big wins that Zwift have come up with, especially for ride leads. You know, we've got 100 riders here who are all able to ride in one group, and you know, we're not physically together, but there is that sense of being, I guess, that sense of being united. We're all in this together physically, we're all going through the pain. It just helps us, I think it helps me just dig a little bit deeper when I have to. Okay guys, next spike. That's good. You know, you can try and vary your hand position throughout these efforts. So, you know, like you ride on the road, sometimes we hold on the tops, sometimes the hoods, sometimes the drops. You know, it's a great idea to vary your hand position on Zwift in training too. So Neil, a comment from Neil there saying, what the heck have we got to do this stuff for? Why don't you just get out on your bike? Well, for me at the minute, I haven't got much time. I'm pretty time poor. So if I've got an hour that I can commit to training, my options are roughly as follows. Get kitted up, get my overshoes on, get my bike, pump my tyres up, go out on the road, ride out of town, in amongst the cars, with my bike lights on. I forgot to charge, so I've only got one front light, pretty dim. Option A. Option B, stick a pair of bib shorts on and a t-shirt, cycling jersey, stick Zwift on, jump on, and cycle with you beautiful people. In the warm, in the dry, in the safe, and after an hour I'm going to get the same, if not more, physiological benefits than what you could get from a 1 hour, sorry, from multiple hours, say 2.5 to 3 hours on the road. So that's my sales pitch for you. I'm going to give you today, in an hour, what you'd have to go out for, say 2.5 to 3 hours for on the weekend to achieve similar results. Good job, everyone. Just see Nathan jumping in, giving us all some a virtual fist pump, I think. Saying fair play to everyone participating. It's a tough old session, and we've got a lot of people committed to it. So guys, that's 10 efforts so far. Halfway through block 1. Rich Warwick there with a bit of a sarcastic yay. You're loving it really, Rich, I can tell. Okay guys, you notice my heart rate throughout these efforts doesn't really fluctuate too much. So in the 20 seconds on, you know, I'm getting up to 164 beats a minute, 165, and the rest period then it'll drop slightly. Or hover. It's starting to drop slightly now. So again, my heart rate's coming down about 4 beats. So every minute, you know, my heart rate's fluctuating, what's that? 6, 7, 8 beats every minute. So that's pretty consistent. So my heart and lungs, kind of all-round system, are working fairly consistently at around that 160 to 168 mark. So my whole system is getting a fairly consistent workout. And again, it's kind of the top end of heart rate wise of what I'd experience on a longer road ride. So my system is getting a great workout there, but my legs as well. My legs are getting worked really hard because I'm producing all these spikes. Just little bits of lactic acid, and every minute, 20 seconds of the minute, is over my threshold. Again, cadence isn't really important for this session, guys. It's whatever cadence you feel comfortable in. So thank you, Henry. Just kind of backing me up there on the benefits of Zwift and why it's great for everyone. You know, it is really social, really fun. You know, look at this, we're riding together and you're listening to me. There's that interaction there, a good bit of stimulus to keep you engaged. You don't get that on the road on your own. You can't get that in the garage without a Zwift setup. Someone's asking there which trainer I'm using. So I'm on a Technogym My Cycling setup. So again, it's a great turbo trainer, smart turbo. It's got a load of cool features. And if you're looking for the most cost-effective way to, you know, connect to your TV, I think Apple TV is kind of regarded as the most cost-effective way. So Apple TV will link from your turbo trainer through to your TV to give you the full Zwift experience. If you're unsure of what exactly you need and how to get set up, I know on the Zwift website there's loads of different tips and options for the kit you need to get set up. Okay guys, another spike, here we go. Good job guys. So I'm trying to vary my cadence a little bit here. So the first few efforts I was riding a bit of a lower cadence, so circa 70-ish revs a minute, and now I'm trying to stay up around 100 revs a minute. You know, there's benefits to be had of riding at each cadence, so generally a lower cadence will help develop your strength as we're pedaling slower, enabling you to focus on each pedaling stroke and really home in on your efficiency. And then the other end of the scale, when you're pedaling at a lot higher cadence, that helps to focus on developing your general speed, but also your efficiency from a cardiovascular point of view. So when you're going really hard in an event or on Zwift, whatever it is, you need your heart and lungs to get you out of trouble. You need a good set of, you need a good system, but you also need that strength and power. So generally high cadence work, you know, if your legs aren't going to get you out of trouble, hopefully your heart and lungs will. So kind of you can pedal your way out of trouble. If you've got strength left in the legs, perhaps you push your way out of trouble. So ultimately though, cadence or pedaling your way out of trouble is much more efficient in the long run. So picture yourself in the middle of a big sportive, maybe at the bottom of a climb or in the valley before a big climb. You start struggling. There's no point there in changing down into a harder gear and trying to push your way out of that trouble. Your only option there is to pedal your way out of it. So, you know, a lighter gear, faster cadence, because as soon as you go into the red, you produce lots of lactic acid, you start to fade, as your legs just can't recycle the amount of lactic that you're producing. Whereas, again, let your heart and lungs do the work. You won't produce quite as much lactic, and you just be slightly better off recycling that lactic acid. Okay guys, we haven't got many left here. This is 3 to go, including this one, for this first block. So again guys, just keeping check of my heart rate. Still between that 160 to 170 range, so fairly consistent. You know, give me a similar stress to a general road ride. However, my legs are starting to take, the effort is starting to take their toll a little bit now. But the good news is 2 more minutes and we've got a short rest. Okay guys, if you haven't had a drink yet, that was probably the wrong time to do it. Nice one. Good job, good job. Good job everyone. So we're coming towards the end of the first block, and the sensations you should be feeling shouldn't be anywhere near total exhaustion. You know, this is a very measured, controlled effort guys. Letting your cardiovascular system do half the work, and letting your strength and your muscles do half the work. Okay guys, the last effort with the first block. Stick with it right to the end. Okay, let's just see the rest out now. Good job. Good job. So that is really halfway through the workload of today's session. So just going to type away to the group a little bit to keep those guys engaged. Lovely. Thanks for bearing with me there. So Phil's asking what recovery drink I have. So I use Science and Sport Rego product, and after this session I'll stick 2 scoops in a protein shaker, a load of water, get that down me just before a shower. Obviously hydration is also critical, so you're going to get a big load of water when you take that recovery shake in, but a pint of water as well, or a pint of liquid squash if you've got a strong bladder is also a good idea, because again, if you're anything like me, I've got sweat dripping off me. Yep, a few people there saying it was harder than they thought, that first block. And it starts out at a fairly moderate pace, but within no time it really starts to kick in. So I just got a couple of questions in there, guys, from in-game from riders that are riding with me. So I wanted to jump in and give them a bit of rationale for the session. So we've got 3 more minutes of this recovery phase. So recovery 6 minutes before we kick on again for our second block. Peanuts, fantastic. So yeah, this section here, this is your chance to have a drink, turn your fan up, have a little stretch. If your shoulders and your back are aching, the next 2 minutes, feel free to ride as hard or as easy as you can, whatever you like. So yeah, my legs are feeling pretty they're pretty recovered now, ready to go with block 2. But, I guarantee by the end of block 2, you would have that cumulative effect of the 40 efforts. And that's mad, when you think about it, we would have completed 40 spikes. So if you were to jump on your turbo on your own and say, well, I'm going to do 20 spikes, have a couple of minute rest, and another 20 spikes, so 40 anaerobic efforts, that would be pretty tough, right? Mentally. But again, in workout mode, we're all in together, getting a bit of instruction. Hopefully we can, the motivation wise, we should be all motivated to do this. And the session flies by. I mean, we're over halfway already. I don't know about you guys, but I'm loving it. It's that feeling and that confidence that every pedal stroke I'm doing today counts for something. So not wasting our time. Time is precious, right? We've all got busy lives and busy stuff, lots of stuff going on. But by training smartly, we can really achieve a lot. And that's kind of our motto at Rowe & King. It's not train more or train harder, but we're all about training smarter. So and Zwift fits them all perfectly for us, enabling you to complete a real quality workout, a structured workout, in a really controlled environment with that gamification element. So it's really fun, it's enjoyable, social, really interactive. It's amazing. If you find that first block a bit easy, you can increase the intensity of the second block. So on the left hand side you should have 2 little arrows. You can press it up or down depending on whether you want to make the session harder or easier. So guys, first effort of the second block. So we will all be up around over 5 watts per kilo here. So producing some serious power. Good job. Number 1 done. Or number 21. Depends how you want to look at it. And I always find the first couple of efforts aren't that easy. Always a bit of a slog. So Phil's just commented there saying he's got cafe legs, and I know exactly what he means. That feeling when you come out of a cafe, having been stopped for a while, or you've stopped at a set of traffic lights, and you get going quickly straight into an effort, which is basically what we've just done there. Gone from riding easy for 6 minutes straight into an effort of 150% of our FTP. That's pretty tough. I always find that quite hard. I do find it gives me cafe legs. Just because your legs aren't used to it, they've stiffened up a bit. But after a couple of minutes, your legs come round as your brain starts to suss out what's going on and sending signals to your muscles and your system to say, right, let's start recycling this stuff, this lactic acid. Let's get rid of the lactic and let's get this boy or girl back on track. So my legs are definitely starting to come around a bit now in this second block. So into the third effort, and although my legs are obviously slightly more fatigued because I've done more work, I actually feel better because my muscles, my system, it's all open and it's very responsive to the efforts I'm making. And this routine here, what we're doing, a modified version, obviously a lot shorter version, is fantastic for a warm-up. So if you're competing or you've got an explosive effort to make, you complete some over-unders or some ramped efforts or some spikes, and that's a great way to get warm without placing too much stress on your body, on your legs. Someone's got pizza legs. As long as nobody gets kebab legs, we're okay. So someone's asking there why this session was later this week. So there's another session that they kind of overlapped with this Workout Wednesday session. So we got bumped. I hear from good authority that we'll be back to 7:45 next week onwards. So yeah, so Workout Wednesday is definitely a 7:45 GMT session. So next week you can expect me to be, or we'll all be back on our same time, on our same slot. Okay guys, 4 done in the second block, entering number 5. So this is our 25th effort out of 40. Now just as that lactic starts to kick in, kind of now, we're easing off. That's just teaching your body, whenever lactic acid comes, get rid of it quick, because we'll be doing another effort very soon. It just helps all round with your developing your system, as you call it, so your heart and lungs. Those little spikes are forcing your body to repeatedly switch on or get rid of that lactic acid. That switch from aerobic to anaerobic. So obviously anaerobic for the 20 seconds, and we're aerobic in the 40 seconds. And that constant switching from across zones just teaches our body we have to adapt quickly at all times. Good job everyone, good job. Don't forget to keep drinking. Got a comment there saying someone just prefers doing 15 seconds on, 45 seconds off. That's also a great session. It's definitely a very different session to this, because it's obviously 25% less time working and you're spending more time resting. So you probably don't quite generate the stress, certainly not this effort anyway, in 15 seconds that we would be required to. And in the off part then, so if you're getting an extra 5 seconds, you're probably going to recover really well, so you won't get that cumulative fatigue build up. That's what's really gonna give you the gains when we recover. So great, absolutely great session, great fun, the old 15:45s, but you'd have to play around with the power that you complete the session at to make sure you're targeting the development of a specific attribute. And that's why when I say a Rowe King, we're all about training smartly, not more. That's why we choose 2040s, because the science and the research that a load of smart guys have said, you do 20 seconds at this kind of intensity and only recover for 40, that's going to stress your body similar to that of a road ride. So over a 3-hour road ride, say. And again, if you're not working quite as hard, obviously you won't get the same physiological gains. If you're working too hard, then you won't get the same benefits of a road ride. You'll be developing more your power or your strength. You'll be focusing on different, just developing different attributes. This is number 9, guys, or number 29, Depends how you want to look at it. Nice one, everyone. Now, hopefully you're feeling now like you're really dialed into the effort. So you're really getting used to what how the effort feels. Your body's really adapting and getting used to the effort. So, normally I'd be hoping that, I wouldn't say you feel content, but you definitely feel like you're in the effort, as opposed to feeling uncomfortable, trying to find your zone. You should just be settled in, just tapping these efforts out now. So the next spike comes up, guys, number 10, and let's just absorb that effort. Now maintain your form. Just maintain your form there, guys. Absorb that effort. Just take it in. No big deal. Nice one. I think my heart rate monitor's playing up, guys, because my heart rate is definitely not 100. So we've got a cracking question there from Zoe, and she's asking, would you tweak this session if a woman was going to do it? And the answer is no. And the reason, well, not necessarily. So this session, again, it's targeted at working or developing your aerobic base. So whether you're male, female, or other, as long as you're working to the zones that are specific to you, this session should be fine for anyone to complete. And don't forget, it's all based off your individual FTP. So you could have, I don't know, Chris Hoy doing this session, and he may be producing 600 watts in the spikes, or you could have my 15-year-old cousin who doesn't ride a bike jump on as an untrained athlete, and they may be producing 200 watts. But they'd be both in the session together, and they'd be both developing the same attributes, which is aerobic base for this session. So the one difference I would like to comment on is a difference between male and female riders, is that women naturally lack that raw strength that men have. So from a training point of view, women tend to have to spend more time working on their strength. So that's on bike exercises such as low cadence work, off bike exercises in the gym, and that type of stuff. So that's one of the key differences between men and women physiologically. Okay guys, we're about to step into effort number 13. Here we go. Just giving my body a little bit of a rest there by doing that one out of the saddle. Good job everyone. This is awesome. So I'm pleased to report that my new cycling shoes are feeling good. No knee pains. Pretty dialed into them, so no excuses there. Now this session is great mentally or psychologically. There's always something happening You're either starting an effort, finishing an effort, in the middle of a short, intense bit, so the 20 seconds, or you're recovering. So I think from a motivation, keeping engaged standpoint, it's a real great session. It does take a bit of mental concentration, but again, if you're on a smart turbo, obviously the turbo does all the hard work for you, and Zwift calculates your zones, transmits all that to your turbo, and applies the resistance. So all the hard work's done for you. I say that tongue in cheek. Obviously the hard work, the real hard work, is the pedaling. I guess the smart work's done for you. Okay guys, spike, let's go. Let's go. Just dialed into this now, guys. Look at that, up over 400 watts. And my body now just got used to it. Just honed in on that effort. So, Gary's asking what percentage of FTP are we doing for the over bit, for the 20 seconds. It's 150%, which may sound quite a lot, but it's only 20 seconds. So by the time that fatigue starts to kick in and you're producing that lactic acid, you're into the 40 seconds rest bit. Just slow your system down, get back on top of your breathing, and go again. So the 150% is obviously very anaerobic. It's going to stretch the system quite a lot. Because we only do it for 20 seconds, it's manageable. So Stephen, yep, this is every Wednesday, 7:45 PM, 19:45 Greenwich Mean Time. You'll find it in the events section of the Zwift app. Now today was slightly later. There's another session that overlapped. But yeah, for your diary, 19:45 every Wednesday. Workout Wednesday with Rowe and King. Look forward to seeing you next week. Okay guys, 4 more efforts. 4 more spikes. Nice one. Great effort, everyone. Great effort. So that's 27 efforts we've done now. No, 37. Yeah, 37. So if you string all this together, this can be 13 minutes and 40 seconds at 150% of your FTP. So if you imagine the max you can complete the 20 minutes, so your FTP, you do a certain wattage for 20 minutes, we've got 150% of that power, and we've strung together almost 14 minutes worth of it. Obviously, the way we've been able to do that is by breaking it down into chunks, so 20-minute chunks, and doing a lot of them. If you think about the muscle stress, so the power you produced on the bike today, that's really significant. So you've gone way over your threshold, way deeper, broken it down. We've completed almost 14 minutes of it, which you could never dream of doing in one go, or even breaking it down into 3 or 4 chunks. It'd be so hard. And this really helps push up or boost your threshold, as well as your aerobic base, and your all-round just general fitness. Yeah, Adrian, good spot. My heart rate monitor, I think I need some new batteries. Definitely something on the go there. Suck it up, guys. Absorb the workload. Good job, everyone, good job. Your one more effort. One more spike. Let's make it count. One more effort. Or one more efforts. Fat fingers. Here we go, guys. 10 seconds. Just suck it up now. Absorb that workload. Nice and efficient, stay smooth. Nice and composed. This effort, like every other effort. No need to be Superman for the last one. Awesome. Well done. Fair play. Oh, well done, everyone. That was a great session. Oh, and if you look back at what you've achieved there, you know, if you can upload this session onto Training Peaks or any other tool that you can use for analysis of your power data, and you'll see the amount of time you spent in each zone. As I mentioned just a minute ago, there's a lot of time you spend well over your threshold. And so those little surges, you know, really do translate to in the real world. So riding on the road in a group, out of a bend, up over rolling terrain, those changes in pace and effort, that's exactly what this session talks to and helps to develop. So yeah, thanks for joining, everyone. Fantastic. Yeah, thanks for joining. There's another quality workout Wednesday that you've all bought into and worked with me on. So thank you very much. We'll be back next week. Workout Wednesday again, 1945. I'll be your host. We've got a new session for you to try. Any questions, queries, fire them over to me on email or in the comment section on Zwift Community Live, and I'll get back to you. No problem, John. Thanks for joining. I know there's definitely method to the madness with all these sessions we do. You know, there's always too much going on in our lives to be able to, you know, just ride aimlessly in our garage. So every time we step on the bike, there's rationale for the session. So we're trying to work on we're developing a certain attribute, whether that's becoming stronger, more powerful, faster, focusing on your base, your aerobic capacity, whatever it may be, technique, getting used to new shoes, new cleats, to get better than the other guys on your Sunday group ride and give them a kick in. So when they pop up and say, "Jay Struth, what have you been doing?" Nothing, mate, resting. Just being at home with my feet up, watching Netflix. That's the key. The key is all about resting, guys. Tell them that, and secretly then you're on Zwift with me, getting down to the serious stuff, turning into a machine, so you can pop out on the weekend and just destroy your mates and get them questioning. You can just tell them, just rest, mate. Rest is the key. rest up. Now I need to get these new wheels, new carbon wheels. Need to get a new bike. Give them all this stuff, but deep down, it's all about the training. So recovery starts now, guys. As I say, now is it's all about recovery, so spinning our legs lightly here. We're starting to get the circulation going, get the blood flowing, start recycling that lactic acid, starting that recovery process. And we want to start putting the fuel back in our body. So liquids, we've got to rehydrate, but also the nutrients, the fuel. So carbohydrates, protein, vitamins, minerals and all that good stuff. So obviously depending on what time of day it is with you, depending on what you can have after this, but for me it's quite late in the evening, so it's 9 o'clock, just gone 9 o'clock. So I'm going to have a recovery shake. Just whip one of those up, carbohydrates, protein, a load of a big drink, a pint of water or something to rehydrate, have a shower, feet up, and just chill out for the rest of the evening. Yeah, again, everyone who's saying thanks for the session, more than welcome, and thanks for joining. We'll see you next week. And those who are still tuned in, if you're looking at that graph, you can see where my heart rate monitor died. Kind of the 4th or 5th effort in the second block, something went wrong. But if you look at the first block of effort, you can see the heart rate slowly rose through the start of the effort, or start of the block. Then it's fairly consistent then, around 160, 170 beats per minute. And that's a fairly consistent stress on my heart and lungs. But yeah, cool, thank you all.